Hey guys, it's your girl, Hannah, and you're probably wondering, Hannah, where the honk have you been? I'm gonna tell you. So in March, our lease for our apartment went up and we decided that we were going to move out and try to find a house with a yard for Sherlock. Thing is, houses aren't easy to find and we had to move in with some family until we could find a house. So we packed up everything we had, including my books, unfortunately, and moved in with them. Now this is where our whole life kind of went off track. So if you don't know me, just know that I love Disney. I love everything Disney. So me and Amelia decided that since everything was packed up and we really had no obligations, we were going to go to Disneyland. And this is where our story begins. So I've been planning a Disneyland trip for a month and a half. I had a lot of stuff to put together and not a lot of money to do it, but today we're flying out and I honestly might be sick. I'm so nervous. I've never been on a trip without my parents. I've never been on a trip with my mom, but I went to Disneyland with my dad and stepmom a couple years ago. I'm really scared. And I'm trying not to have a mental breakdown, but right now I'm at Walmart picking up some crossword and puzzle books for us to do on the plane. And this is the day one vlogging, I guess. We go to the airport in like an hour, so I better hurry. And I'll talk to you guys when we're either leaving or going to the airport, or at the airport, or on the plane, or in Disneyland. Oh, we're also going to a BTS concert, so this is going to be pretty busy next week. See you guys in a minute. So, being the idiot that I am, I actually didn't vlog again until we were actually in California later that night, I believe. But I did catch a video of us taking off, and I also took exactly one Snapchat before we took off. But I really kind of want to blame that to the fact that I was super nervous about the whole thing. So, shockingly, we did actually survive the plane ride to California, which is a beautiful state. Just, I would not go there again and want to drive. We did end up Ubering and kind of lifting everywhere, but this was pretty much the end of our first day as we went to the hotel and kind of chilled out for the rest of the night as we had a busy next few days ahead of us, which we will get into right now. So y'all know my sister Amelia. Yes, that is her. Well, she is a large fan of a K-pop group called BTS, who just so happened to be in California at the same time we were. And I decided that we were going to go to their concert for her birthday. Happy birthday, Amelia. You owe me. So we get to the concert hall, which was at the Rose Bowl Stadium, and to put it lightly, it was crowded. Like, very crowded. But the concert was pretty cool, I have to admit. I did feel a bit like a dad at a Justin Bieber concert, but it was all for Amelia. Also, I have to point out that our Uber on the way back to the hotel was amazing. So that concluded day one in California at the BTS concert. I hope Amelia enjoyed it. She said that she's a little disappointed we weren't closer to the stage, but she's still happy to be able to see them in person because she probably will never get that chance again. Now, after this, we literally went to the hotel and crashed. It was such a crazy, insane day that we didn't really know what else to do for the rest of the night. We got home, not home, but we got back to the hotel at like 12. So we were done, and I was looking forward to the next day, which was gonna be Disneyland. Okay, so before we get started on this whole Disneyland trip, I just want to make it clear that I had a list of things that I wanted to see, do, or eat at Disneyland that consisted of 64 things. So as we go through this, at the bottom is going to be a number and what we achieved with that. So first day, we went to California Adventure, where immediately we saw Mickey, and of course, it was appropriate to say I freaked out. We're here, and I'm trying not to freak out. No, I can't stop for a second. Let's stop here. I am such an embarrassment. So even though California Adventure was a lot of fun, we moved over to Disneyland the same day about 1 or 2 in the afternoon because I knew there were a lot of things on my list that needed to be done in the other Disneyland, but I didn't let my list drive our vacation. But these are all the things that I crossed off on the list during that first day. Also, I'd like to point out something that really kind of irked me. Do you see in the background of this picture? Do you see it? That is the castle. The iconic Disney castle wasn't even open, and it opened like 2 weeks after we went home. So I'm a little irked about that. Thank you, Disney. All in all, I think our first day at Disney was pretty successful. I love Main Street USA. I think it's absolutely gorgeous. We saw the props from the new Aladdin movie, and we crossed off a ton of things towards the end of the night. I'll put an ultimate list of what we actually crossed off the first day before we move on to the second day. Day 2. What? Day 2. Day 2. We went straight to Disneyland, excuse that little mess up I did, where they actually had taken off the top of the castle so we could actually the tippy top of the castle. But me and Amelia had to quickly run over straight to It's a Small World, which is still as haunting as I remember from my childhood. Alright, that's enough of that. So next we went over to Toontown, which is honestly a lot smaller than I thought it was. But it's still, it's a really interesting place to go see. We had to answer the phones, which was on one of my lists, was to answer the phones to hear a conversation, which I think is super interesting. Also, this was a thing that happened. Hold on. Take a drink. That is scary. And then a few more things happened before we moved on. Nothing. Yes, Pluto appeared out of nowhere and 5-year-old Hannah was very happy about it, but let's move on. So the next thing we ran into was honestly by accident. We didn't mean to fall upon Snow White's grotto. It was on my list, so I'm glad that we did, but we weren't exclusively looking for it. So it was quite a surprise to actually fall upon it and no one was there. Also, I got a better picture of the Disney statue without this guy all up in it. Can you move, sir? Please, yes, get out of my picture. So we honestly hung around in Fantasyland for a little while longer, just kind of shopping. We got in a couple of rides, and I took this kind of stalkerish picture of Captain Hook and maybe Peter Pan. I'm not 100% sure if he's even in it. Hello, Captain Hook. So after that, we took a couple more pictures and explored a little more, did some snacking, and we bought our first pair of ears. And taking a few more stalkerish pictures of characters, we decided to sit down for a parade. And that's where something magical happened. Don't say it like that, sounds creepy. So I'm not going to show you guys the whole parade, but I could post it later, separate videos if you guys would like, because it is like a 20-minute long parade. And I just want to show you guys the important part where I was like, oh my gosh, I realized I was kind of in love with Aladdin. So just watch this clip if you guys would like, and I will point it out to you when it happens. Thank you. Also, I'm not saying that was totally directed at me, but that was totally directed at me. No matter what you say, Amelia, fight me. So we had decided to cut the day a little short that day because we were tired from the 14 hours we'd spent the day before. So we decided to hit Splash Mountain. And no, I did not get wet. Grab a bite to eat before heading back to our hotel via shuttle. But we did kind of take a picture on Splash Mountain, though I don't know if you can see us very well. There we are. Lovely. And that is the end of day 2. I feel like day 2 was a much more relaxed day for us. We weren't rushing around trying to get too many things, checked off my list, which is what I wanted. I didn't want a stressful day. I don't want any stressful days. But we didn't cross off as many things as we did the first day here. And the next day, we did not go to Disneyland or California Adventure. We decided to take, I think, a much deserved break. So, since we did absolutely nothing the day before our last day in Disneyland, I'm going to completely just not include anything we did because we didn't take pictures or anything. We literally just hung out in our hotel and slept. But we did actually start in California Adventure on our last day because I feel like there were a few things that we needed to get out of the way over there. So one of the first things we did while over there, we did get a fast pass for the Guardians of the Galaxy ride because the line was ridiculous. So we got a fast pass for that, and yeah, the ride was great. I used to be terrified of the Tower of Terror, but Guardians of the Galaxy is so refreshing to me. Like, it was just fun. It was a fun ride, and yeah, we did get a picture on it. Smile, you bloomin' idiots. And also, this was the day that Amelia and I decided that we were going to go around and try to find characters to get our book signed and get autographs and get pictures and just kind of, do the things that wasn't rides. So I have to admit, Amelia did indulge me quite a bit on this day because I was wearing these shoes that I had made for Beauty and the Beast, and I told her I wanted to hunt down Beauty and the Beast, and we did. And this was just a magical moment for me because I pointed out my shoes to Belle, and she literally got the Beast's attention to show him my shoes, and he gave me a hug, and like, Belle is my favorite princess, and just, I felt like it was such a magical moment. And I'm gonna stop gushing about it right now, but like, the characters make you feel special. Like, the Beast gave me a hug, and I was like, oh my gosh, like, they actually appreciate my shoes. And yeah, now I'm gonna stop talking. So with this being our last day, I think we both felt a little bittersweet about it. We tried to get as many things as we could off my list done. We tried the Dole Whip, which honestly I didn't like very much. It was too tart for me. We got beignets. We tried to take pictures of everything that we were seeing. And pretty much we got a lot of things crossed off on the list that I wanted to get done. There was one thing that didn't get done on the list that I am not mad about. I'm more mad at the fact that it happened this way. We got in line for Space Mountain and waited for an hour and a half, and it didn't move. So we got some pizza, concluded our shopping, and finished Disneyland. So out of 64 things on our list, we actually crossed off 48. And honestly, I am pretty pleased with it. A lot of the ones we didn't get is because I made a mistake about some of them, or it was just not available anymore. Y'all still with me? Hang on, we're almost done. So on the 10th of May, we decided that we were going to go to the beach since obviously we live in Utah and there's not many options to go to a beach. And honestly, it was amazing. I loved it. Like, the water was kind of cool and no one was really swimming, but like, me and Amelia were having a blast. We collected all these shells and like, we saw a sea lion. And honestly, guys, I'm going to make this brief and short. It was great. It was an amazing day. So then the day had arrived. We packed up our things, checked out of our hotel, and had to go wait in an airport for like 5 hours before we headed back to Utah. I do have a video of us coming home.
Hello.
My stepmom and my dad who were waiting for us. It was freaking great. I think both of us found it to be a little bittersweet. We didn't want to come home, but we were ready to get home. Like, Disneyland and California had been such an amazing, adventure, and we definitely want to do it again. But I just wanted to give you guys a long update on why I hadn't been recording or doing anything with my channel lately. This is why. I've taken a break for myself, and honestly, it was amazing. It was magical. So thank you so much for joining me. Hopefully I will be back on YouTube pretty soon. We are looking for a house right now, but I will talk to you guys later. Rock on.